Alright, I'm continuing on my 4 beep issue, and I'm told this, looking in my mercury service manual, could be filled with water. And if it is, when it gets to its full point or potential, something like that, it will make this 4 beep alarm. So I am going to figure out how to get that little wire right there off, and then I think there's a little probe that's in the bottom of it that has a little nut on it. I don't know if that'll turn this or not. If not, then there's a little metal piece that probe screws into, I imagine, that I might be able to get a small channel lock on it. Might be able to get it and turn it, but it says empty that out and put it back on there unless it's somehow messed up. And this is about $35, so today I'm gonna do that, but I will buy me a new one at some point, because this is 2006 model. It's 2025, so 20 years old, I think. Even if it ain't bad, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? A few years ago, I did have some work done on this, so I think this has probably been spun off anyway. That's a long story, where I had some jackass I paid before this went out of warranty to fix warranty issues, and he didn't do it. He just took my money. And then as time went by, I had a problem because the trim sounded horrible. I mean, like horrible from the get-go. He did not diagnose and fix it, and it had some old gas line on here that was known to go bad, and he didn't even fix that. That was $250 for, I guess he just went and ate, bastard. So then I took it to a certified mercury dealer. They kept it for 2 months. Didn't fix it. Claimed they went out on the lake a few times, did this, that, and the other. I'm assuming they went to lunch too, because when I went back finally to get my motor in my boat, because I decided they just weren't going to fix it, turns out that exact same guy had sold his business and was the one working on my motor. How was that for my luck? And of course, did not get fixed. I'm sure he went with that. They decided that I needed my spark plugs, and the spark plugs changed. $400. Can you believe that? $400. It's 6 spark plugs. I did it myself a few years ago. It took me less than an hour. It was off of Amazon. They were about $7 a piece, about an hour. Can you believe that ass? That just, I can't tell you how pissed off I am about that still. But anyway, they couldn't do it, so I took it to some guy up in Gallatin, Tennessee. And about an hour, he'd figured out what I already knew. The trim motor was bad. You could hear it was bad, but he figured it out. So I got one. Don't remember where I got it from. And turns out that, and then I took it to another place called Riverside Marine. I actually took it to Riverside Marine first. They found the gas problem and decided that's why. Alright, so get this. As I'm going down the lake, I hit the trim button, the motor turns off. And then, I mean, every time I bump it, the motor goes off, back on, off, and on. So when I took it to Riverside Marine, well, they found the gas line problem, and it deteriorated and filled all this up. That's who worked on this, is kind of winding that story up. But and they decided that was what the problem was. It was an electrical problem. They decided to fuel. But that was for more $100. And then I took it to a guy up here in Gallatin, and within an hour he did charge me $100, but he at least figured it out. And I was right on the right track. I just didn't know how to test it. I do know how to test it now. But anyway, that's my soapbox moment. So I'm fixing to, I didn't find anywhere online that shows how to get that off there. It looks just like a bullet style wire. So my first thing is that, if that's a silicone or like a tube, so my first idea is just pull down on it, but I don't have any way of grabbing it. I do have some rubber jaw, I forgot about that. I've got some rubber jaw pliers that I use to take spark plug boots off, and it don't really work, but it might work for this. I'll at least go try it, and whatever works, I'll show you how to do. Alright, I'm back. So this is what I'm talking about. I have not tried it yet, but this is, oh, look at there, it is a bullet. So there's your answer. You don't have to be these, it can be just a needle nose pliers that you put some like a rubber hose on it so you don't tear that up. But hey, look at there. And then, because I'm pretty sure that's screwed in, I'm going to try this. So you guys out there don't know, channel locks work in a direction, kind of like pipe wrench, and as it turns, it grabs. So I may have to go get my little smaller ones, but there we go. Look at there. It actually wasn't that hard. So you and me are going to see together. What the heck? It don't smell like gas in there, so I sure hate. I'm gonna try to pull this out because I really don't want gas getting in there. So let's just kind of tuck it right there, I guess. So it's just tucked out of the way. I don't have any way to catch whatever comes out of there, whether it be water or gas. I don't know. Alright, there's a little bit of something coming out of there. It smells like gas. Looks like gas. I'm gonna call it gas. So I'm gonna get me a rag. Yep, that's definitely gas, I can tell. That is gas. So I need a rag so I don't get gas everywhere. Alright, I got me a rag. I got that blue container I was using earlier. I'm just going to stuff this up under there. I've got gas all over my hands already anyway, so ain't no way in the world to get that out without spilling it everywhere. So, and I can't do it two hands anyway, so it's just going to be a mess. I'm just going to tell you. It's going to be a mess, and all you can do is dry it up and let it evaporate out afterwards. I don't see any other possibility. So I don't think y'all need to see take that off, pour it out. Well, you might want to see what's in it. So I'll do that. I'll show you what's in it, because I'm interested, so you'll be interested. So I'm gonna try to stuff that up in there as far as I can get it and get that out of there. I'll show you what's in after I pour it out. I'll pour it into a jar and see what it is. Alright, that was a mess, just like I knew it would be. Gas went down to my elbow. I got it off and in this as quickly as possible, but look at this. Damn it. Splashed on me, I hate that. There's trash all down in there. So again, a boat dealer screwing me over like they do. Man, that's the reason I bought me a service manual and I started learning how to do this. You know, that was $1,500 worth of jack nothing that they did. Look at this. Now this ain't their fault. This is what their fault is. This other side of this. Look at this. See all that? This is the same filter. Keep in mind, they charged me $400. They did all this work. But nothing else. I'm getting the part number because that's not that I could find in the Mercury dealer, their catalog or their service manual. So looking down in there, I don't really see nothing, but seeing how all that crud came out of it. See all that? It's probably a teaspoon or so of just crud. I don't know what it is. See it? I'm gonna try to get it in that little pocket right there. It's about a teaspoon. And I'm gonna guess that to be that orange gas, you know how that stuff kind of the deposits and whatnot. And now that I see the condition of this, see that top and how a piece came off, and I guess I may dump that in some gas and then put it back on there just for the minute, and then order me another one. Because from what I can tell, this filter, I don't see any way to tell what year it is, but this is it. I'm gonna call it the original one. Jackasses didn't even replace it. Anyway, I hear they're out of business. They were supposedly a good company, but I got a feeling a good boat dealer or a boat repair shop is only called good because you ain't got any other choices. There's only a few of them around, and they want to live in a mansion evidently, because to put one gas line on it and didn't even change this, and nothing else had to be bought to charge that much. I mean, damn. Anyway. Alright. I'm going to quit ranting and raving. I'm going to say that little nick right there is because they don't leave you a whole lot of room when you got that little probe on there to get this back in. And so, who knows what that was about. I mean, they're going to damage it. They could at least put another one on there. I know if it cost me $25, it probably didn't cost them $5. But yeah, I looked up online, and this is about $25, depending on if you get a knockoff or the for real one. I don't see any reason not to get the for real one. I could save $10. That'd just be silly. Oh, by the way, in 2020, I was building me a fish cleaning station. I had quadruple bypass surgery before I even got to use it. And I think that's 5 years. I used stud material and I stained it. Don't do that. So when I take those back off, I'm going to put something much better back on there. I don't know what yet. And I bought some blue tablets off of Temu, and for the summer, that's a pretty good product. For the winter, I'd go get the type that don't freeze. But for the summer, this ain't bad. It does a pretty good job. Alright, I decided to dump that gunk out. So check this out. It feels like rust, but what I think that actually is you remember that fuel line I was just telling you about that they're supposed to have cleaned out and done all this stuff to? I think that's the fuel line. Huh. How about that? If they had to put a new one of these on there, it would have caught all this crud, which I guess this did catch it. That's a good thing. But they should have told me that I needed to replace that because they couldn't get everything out of the fuel lines. I bet that separator has got this stuff in it too, so this may be a $50 endeavor. I may put this on there, run some more through it, and then gosh, I hope it didn't make it to the fuel injectors. It runs good, so I'm gonna say it didn't, but anyway, it's a good reason why every 2 or 3 years you gotta open this up, dump it out. That's the gas that was in it. This is the same color as the gas I got out of the tank. It's got some of that material in it. So I guess I'm glad this filter, so just to let you know, a pre-filter, even though this does it, Sierra makes a pre-filter exact same thing, I'd imagine. It's just somewhere between the motor and the tank. I think I'm going to install it. It's about $40. Might save me. It wouldn't have saved me for this, because this would have had to be before it, directly before it went into the motor to catch this, because that fuel line, it would have had been on the motor side of the bulb to be able to catch this. Huh. Well, anyway, I'll do the best I can. That's all you can do. Change of plans. So I put this one back on there, only just to stop contaminants from getting in there. But I'm not using that filter again. I'll see what came out of it. That filter is shot. So I'm buying another one. I may even... they say they took it off and clean it, but look, it's still got the original. See? They said they took it off and cleaned it. Look, now, like I said, I've been learning, and now, this has been a few years ago. It was before I had my bypass surgery. I'm just now starting to use the boat again, and these problems are popping up that should not be popping up. Had they truly cleaned this, look, that even looks old and original. I think they screwed me too, is what I'm guessing at the moment. I don't know what this is. See, it's got little spots on it. That right there, that catches the cowl foam. I wish there was a way to kind of cut that down some. I might get my Dremel tool, cut that down so to quit catching that cowl. But then again, that Dremel tool, it can get out of hand quick. Alright, anyway, I'll buy me another one. I'm gonna leave this unhooked. Just gonna put the cowl on it, park it. I may go get a tank of gas just to have it before I park it and cover it. It looks like about 5 days of rain coming at us. But I suggest getting you a service manual and learning some of these things. I bought another one of those for $90 from DB Electric. It turned out not to be the problem, but it was $100. So I've got that in there in a box, put the mercury back on here. So I got an extra alternator in case that ever does go bad. DB Electric's a really good place. I've gotten starters. Matter of fact, I think I got that trim motor from there. They're in Bristol, Tennessee. Free shipping. Although you know how that goes. It's in there somehow. Look here, I see some vacuum lines. So these relays, just so you know, the trim motor, I bought a set of those, and it did not fix the problem, but had I known how to use a multimeter at the time, you check volts, amps, and ohms, and it turns out that's what the guy did. He checked that and said it wasn't reading correctly, and I went and got that trim motor, and lo and behold, mischief managed. So now, it's just a starter. It's not really complicated when you get down to it. The computer is where you're stuck. I was watching a thing earlier about these Optimaxes, and if you somehow open an oil passage, it uses the DFI oil to lubricate. It don't mix with gas. They inject together, and before it gets there, it's evidently used like an oil in different ways. So while you can use a lesser oil, because these Optimaxes, the way it uses the oil, I think you're running an unnecessary risk because of the way it uses the oil. So anyway, I thought I'd just put that out there. I just now learned that today. And yeah, they're a little complicated, but they're not. And some minor, or some DIY things, but there's some things you just got to take it somewhere to have them do it, because you don't have the computer. There's the big computer component. And you don't have any way of talking to it. So there's a purge, turns out, for the oil to get bubbles out of it. And just, you put it in this little purge, you turn it on, and the computer runs a little purging program. I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes worth of cycling it to get the air bubbles out, but you can't do that. It'd be awesome if they'd let you be able to do that, but they won't. So anyway, well, there's some things you can do, there's some things you can't. And I just learned today also, this has some O-rings in it, and it's a routine maintenance situation. This is an air compressor, so that high pressure system, and there's like 4 or 5 O-rings in there where oil and water go through it, or oil and air, I'm not exactly sure, or oil and gas, something. Anyway, there's 2 different fluids. One of them's definitely oil, and those O-rings are important so they don't mix. And see, now this is a 2006, and right now it's 2025. Might be time for me to look into that one. And honestly, I may just pay somebody to do that. That's a pretty important part. But as I've been talking about things that I paid people to do that so far I've been getting screwed on, I'll just sit there and talk myself into doing it my damn self. Anyway, see you later. Alright, I've got my new fuel filter. It's by Quicksilver, not the Mercury. It's got a 5 instead of a 4. I broke putting this on. I'm trying to take it down to the same level. This is the original one. I didn't know how long or how far that was supposed to go in, so I tried to just match. But when I got down there, broke off. So as tight as it is, I'm going to say this piece here will still work. I put it on there, it starts leaking, I might try a little JB weld, or I may try to put this one back on there. Actually, I'll probably put this one on there first before I try the JB weld with that one. Well, no, see, I can't get that one out, so it'd be JB weld, and then I may do some extreme measures, try to get that out. This is about $30, so I may, I don't know, may try an easy out or something to try to get it back out of there. But I mean, it's just plastic, it didn't go in there hard. This one had some type of a lock thread on it, like a putty. I tried this stuff here, and it made it pretty tight going in, and I think that's what the problem was. Is I probably, doing this again, I'll track down what this liquid version is and seal the gas. But right now it's sealed, so I'm going to try to put it on there, and might put a little gas in there, because it says to fill it up first, not pumping the ball, but I think I'll put some gas in there, and way I don't have to pump up so far. And the other thing I'm still thinking about doing, but maybe not today, is I'm going to figure out if this will let gas out. I might have to take this lower cowl off, or if I can take this fuel line loose and drain this. That filter had so much stuff in there, I'm afraid it might be in there too. There ain't no way to look in there that I can tell, so getting it out, looks like 1, 2, 3 screws to get it out. Maybe You know, getting all these little, I like to buy little worm gear style fuel connectors. That way I can take these off. Then over the years maintenance it. Probably should have been doing the maintenance on a more frequent schedule anyway. I saw a video where they said down in there is some type of a water strainer. That's another day. And then this supposedly has got some O-rings in it. Seeing how this is 20 years old, I might need to look at. Anyway, looks like it might be raining on me, so I'm gonna hurry up. All I'm gonna do is put this on there, put some gas in here, pump that ball up. If it don't rain, I might put the water muffs on there and start it up, see if the beeps go away. But you can see, you know, there's plenty of oil in there, so I don't think it's going to be the oil, even though online it says it's an oil. 4 beeps could mean oil or water, and this thing had really bad gas, so I'm hoping that was the gas issue and it's not the oil issue, because I've gone all the way through this thing and I don't see any reason the oil would be an issue. Nothing obvious anyway. But if this don't work, then I'll track down the oil next. Alright, I got that on there. Gotta remember to put this cord on there. I'm trying to beat a little rain cloud coming. But down in under there, there's a little collar, a little metal collar. Alright, I got it on there. It's finger tight at the moment. I'm going to give it a couple of turns with this. There's a little metal collar on this thing. I filled it about 2/3 full of gas, and the ring I just had to have some 2,4-C grease, so I put that on the O-ring. And so what I saw online was I don't actually have to turn this on. I don't actually have to turn it. I just got to turn the key on. This sensor should I gotta be careful with this. It ain't rubber jaw, so I may go get the rubber jaw ones. But it looks like it's on. Yeah, I think it's on. Well, it came off real easy. I'm gonna go get the rubber jaw pliers. See if I can't push that on a little bit better. Even though it looks, no, see, it ain't on. It's just barely. Huh. It acts like it's got the same amount as before. So yeah, rubber jaw. Okay, I use this old one to test fit. See how it's got that little collar? So I ended up using my 2 middle fingers and pushing up, and it went on there. Now it ain't coming back off like it was. I didn't hear it snap or nothing, but it's fine. Alright. Alright. I've got the well, that was 4 beeps. I'm fixing to go get the ear things and run some gas through. See if 4 beeps start again. It's got clean gas on a clean sensor. I don't know if it's got to reset itself or not. So So if it don't come back on in 20 seconds, I'm gonna call it fixed. No, it's supposed to be 2 minutes. I'm sorry. 2 minutes. I'm just gonna leave it right here. I'm gonna go get the hose pipe. I'm gonna start it up. Alright, so it's still doing the beeps. I've got the water on it. This will give it a good start.